More like this, when I know they run them every day now, to my 3 sharp update 20 to year. Today, so sharply, as I carry my keke, enter inside the streets of the social media's lifestyle. Today, matter and Tarapa not cover say but office I declare you so. I never even drive go far. If I don't happen, I be gay. What is up? Now I say una presido. Emi Locon one of Africa, no Femi Yoye. As I declare you so, na president boss and yes now. You know they hail and they celebrate UK courts. Also say man, Nigeria don't win their case against P and ID. Don't worry, I go give the details of that case just now because that matter everybody celebrate and since I go tell you why everybody celebrate that case. From there, now so I carry my keke, they drive go front to the road not too good, but the manager they go small. Before I know that happen, I be hey, what is up? Now say watch out. Now they say return of fair queues and return of fuel subsidy. That's to say, as they doesn't fuel subsidy, they don't call back. Fuel queue don't they pile up for some filling station for some places like that. So, hey, no worry, I go give the details of that gist shortly. From there, as I say, make I just drive go front again. 2 junction from there, and I be hey, this matter shock me. Where they play now? I say, Anambra government now they don't catch one woman. What did the woman do? They said the woman go sell a grandchild for guess how much? 50,000 naira. When I see this, G say, are you weak? Now so the hardship don't reach for this country now. We could just say full picking, full human being for 50K. Ha! Salud, boy. Anyway, I will give now details of that gist. We'll start this update properly now. Take a beg you anyway to watch this video from. Do me one big favor, I beg. Help me share this video, make another person see him. So that anybody will get interest for this kind of matter they talk for you. Made them of his see him, made them know they saw for this country. And if not the first time where they see my way they come across my page with this, I beg, do well to follow this page. I beg. Sharply, go start with that first gist on the UK court verdict on the P and ID case. Listen and be blessed. Amen. He said President Bola Tinubu on Monday described as a victory for Africa Nigeria's win in the $11 billion Process and Industrial Development Limited Arbitration Award. The president commended Justice Robin Knowles of the Commercial Court of England and Wales for prioritizing the merits of the case above all other considerations. With the celebrate people, they use merit, but for here they use technicalities. This landmark judgment proves conclusively that nation-states will no longer be held hostage by economic conspiracies between private firms and solitary corrupt officials who conspire to extort and indebt the very nations they swear to defend and protect. The president said in a statement by his spokesman, Ajuri Ngelale, today's victory is not for Nigeria alone. It is a victory for our long-exploited continent and for the developing world at large, which has for too long been on the receiving end of unjust economic malpractice and overt exploitation. Nigeria is appreciative of the tremendous effort of the defense team and acknowledges the role of the Federal Ministry of Justice and the Office of the Attorney General in process of defending Nigeria's interest in this case, the president added. With the judgment delivered on Monday, Nigeria succeeded in stopping the enforcement of the award, which was initially in favor of P and ID. According to the judge, the award against Nigeria by the company was obtained by fraud. In the circumstances and for the reasons I have sought to describe and explain, Nigeria succeeds on its challenge under Section 68. I have not accepted all of Nigeria's allegations, but the award were obtained by fraud, and the awards were and the way in which they were procured was contrary to public policy, Justice Knowles ruled. In January 2010, the P and ID signed a gas supply and processing agreement with Nigeria to develop a processing plant in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, but the failed, but the deal failed in August 2012, and the company sought a $5.96 billion compensation from Nigeria with arbitration proceedings against the country at the London Court of International Arbitration. In January 2017, the arbitration said Nigeria breached the contract and ordered the country to pay the company $6.6 billion with interest starting from May 2013. Before the verdict, the interest fixed at 7%, $1 million daily, had accumulated to over $11 billion. Subsequently, Nigeria filed an appeal against the enforcement of the award, and the court granted the relief sought by the country in September 2020. The Nigerian side argued that there was enough evidence that the contract and the arbitration award were procured by fraud. The Nigerian side hereby urged the court to set the award aside, saying that some individuals in the case were being tried for money laundering and graft. Wahala. I beg, onto the second gist, which is the fuel and subsidy matter. Listen and be blessed. It said there is palpable tension at petrol stations all over Lagos and spreading fast across the nation. Scarcity looms ominously and queues have surfaced yet again. But this actually is one of the core reasons stakeholders in the downstream sector of the oil industry insisted on the need to remove subsidy from fuel. The Depot and Petroleum Product Marketers Association of Nigeria, DAPMAN, for instance, held that the abolition of subsidy would help to end perennial fuel scarcity, eliminate unnecessary hardship on citizens in need of fuel, reduce waste, eliminate the arbitrage that induces cross-border smuggling, and stimulate responsible consumption. These fuel marketers must have taken their informed position in anticipation of a full deregulation, a total abolition of subsidy in which market forces will determine the price of petroleum products. They would have expected that government would create a little, if not comfortable, leeway of access to foreign exchange by the importers or of a refined product at the same rate as NNPCL is calculating their forex from crude oil export, so that buying petrol would no longer be a subject matter of serious conversations. They couldn't have brought that they couldn't have thought that there would yet again be any form of artificial prices for petrol, a situation where the naira is sliding miserably against the dollar at the parallel market, where there is a surge in the price of crude oil in the international market, and the pump price of fuel remains the same, stagnant in their country, Nigeria. It will be commonplace now to say that what Nigerians and indeed the fuel marketers are seeing is a different scenario, albeit a dangerous drama. The hard fact today is that there is pressure on supply of fuel, if not full-blown scarcity. A lot of fuel stations are not selling. Some are shut down because supply is not forthcoming, and there is no question that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NPCL) is to blame. We must call a spade a spade. News emerging from credible sources insists that NPCL should take responsibility for the irregular supply and flow of fuel from the pumps. According to the unimpeachable sources, NPCL's fuel reserve has diminished seriously, and after a tense meeting early this week, it resolved to supply petrol to only fuel marketers that own up to 50 petrol stations. For NPCL to come up with a new criterion, they should have allowed at least 6 months period before implementation. This was the same NPCL that the group chief executive, Mele Kyari, only last week told Nigerians that his corporation has over 1 trillion liters of petrol. Voila. This country, now the more you look, the less you see. Now they see every day. I beg you, onto our last gist, which is that woman will go sell a grand pikin for 50k. No, that woman, no. You not try at all. Not try. He said the Anambra government said it apprehended one Oluchukwu Nwosu, 45, who allegedly sold her 3-month-old grandchild for 50k. The Commissioner for Women and Social Welfare, Ife Obinabo, disclosed this at a news briefing in Oka on Sunday. Ms. Obinabo said the baby had been rescued following consistent intelligence report and surveillance that lasted almost a month. She said 4 people had been arrested for the crime and will be handed over to the police for investigation. The rescue operation followed a report by Ijoma Osu, who claimed that her mother, Oluchukwu, forcefully sold her baby soon after he was born and refused to tell her the baby's whereabouts. It is sad that the baby is looking sick and underweight. According to the buyer, she has no money to buy proper baby food, and she resorted to feeding the baby with soya bean powder, she added. The commissioner frowned at the continued practice of illegal adoption in the state despite the government's efforts to end it. She warned that perpetrators of unlawful adoption will face legal action. Voila, left, right, and center. Anyway, just thank God for everything.